So I'm not sure if any of you just understood what I said, but if you didn't, how did that feel? Not knowing what I said to you because I communicated to you in a way that you don't understand. When I first started thinking about my project, I tried to do this grand thing where I would affect a large group of people, but I found that difficult. So I decided to start off with one person and work my way up. Now, before I tell you what my project is, I will tell you where it derived from. I was 5 years old when my mother told me she was pregnant with my baby brother. And of course, I was excited. I loved to know that I wasn't going to be the only child in the house anymore, so I was ecstatic. But every girl wants a little sister, and that's what I wanted. I wanted my little sister to play dress up with, to take on the world with, and just have her there with me. But it wasn't until I was 10 years old that my mother told me that she was pregnant with a baby girl. And I was excited, and it was even better when she told me that she was expected to be born on Christmas Day. And who wouldn't love that your Christmas present would be your baby sister? So I was really excited. But she told me that I would get my Christmas present a few days before. I was only 10 years old, so I didn't understand. But at the time, what was going on was because my little sister wasn't in breech position, she would have to be delivered early. But I didn't care. I was excited to know that I would get my Christmas present early and that she would be home with me. Now, when I was little, my parents tried to describe to me that things were going wrong and that I wouldn't get her soon at home as I expected. But I was okay as long as I had her there. But I did start to notice a week had gone by and my baby sister still wasn't home. I didn't know what was going on, but what was happening was that my little sister was born with a rare chromosomal disease called trisomy 14. Now, you can't really explain that to a fourth grader, so I just went along with the routine. I knew that every day, no matter what it was, no matter when it was, we would be at the hospital. I had to go into this weird room where they would make me wash my hands, put a mask on my face, gloves on my feet, on my shoes. I didn't understand what it was. I just knew in order to do that, in order to see my little sister, I had to do that. But I was okay with it. Another month had gone by. She still wasn't home. Another month of that big room where I would walk across and see a lot of little babies there to get to my little sister. But I didn't care. I still saw her, and that's all that mattered. Another month had gone by. She still wasn't home. It wasn't until March of 2007, 3 months after she was born, that I got picked up early from school that day. My mom told me, "We're going to the hospital to bring your baby sister home." So I was really excited. I loved it. I loved having her there. I didn't think anything was wrong. It wasn't until I started to slowly realize. My mom would tell me, "She's a year today. She's 1 year old. But why is she so tiny? She's the size of about an 8-month-old. Don't babies usually walk by the time they're 1 year old?" She wasn't walking yet. She wasn't talking yet, but I was okay with it. What happened was her rare chromosomal disease caused some disabilities. 2 major factors were the inability to walk and the inability to talk. Now, it wasn't that she's incapable of learning how to talk, but it was a slow process for her. We did realize, however, that she started to create signs to communicate with us. When she was hungry, she would touch her lips with the tip of her fingers. When she was mad, she would make these little hand gestures. So my family and I decided, why not teach her ASL, American Sign Language? Now, this was over the summer, so the process was going along very well. My brother and I were home with her all day to teach her. We taught her the basics that she would need. But once we started school, the process got slower because we had to focus on our schoolwork. And then my little sister started school. Now, imagine if you were to go to school and everyone spoke a different language from you, but because you're the minority and because you have a disadvantage that you can't control, that you don't have any control over, you're not allowed to learn the language that your other classmates speak. And that's what was happening to her. She attends a school where everyone talks English. They all have the capability to learn and to talk, but she doesn't. But because she's 2 of about 200 students, she's not given the ability to have a voice. And that's what I plan to do. I hope to communicate with my little sister's school and to set up a program where she can learn American Sign Language until someday hopefully give her a voice and give her the opportunity to talk and speak to others, maybe in a different way from everyone, but just to give her the voice that she deserves, and hopefully one day to spread the word and maybe get it to other students in that need. Thank you.